Hello, hello. I still get so nervous. When does this go away, you guys? My stomach's fluttering. Um, Thank you for joining me today. It is Wednesday, not Tuesday, as originally planned last month. Um, but yeah, crazy life schedules. I never did get those appointments on Tuesdays started. Um, and so I'm now off on Wednesdays. Uh, we have joining us. First up was Joe, and then Regina and Lisa. We got Jim and Sheila. Thank you both for being mods. I appreciate you. Um, I have a lot, I think. Whew, sorry, didn't mean to shake you. Um, I was sitting here making my notes and scribbling and trying to figure out who was first up. So, as you can tell, I have Pretty in Pink up behind me. That is the, hi Brenda. That is the charity sewing group that I meet with. I did the Jolly Green Giant version. Here is the pink version, which I was finally able to get a video on that. And let's see if I can pop this up. There's the full image of it. That border print is just, it's fantastic. I wish I had yardage on it. But I'm very pleased with the final outcome. I'm hoping whoever receives it absolutely, I'm hoping they get to choose their quilts and like somebody out there just absolutely loves pink and picks this one. But you really never know when it comes to charity quilts. You just kind of got to give and let go. So first up, actually, that is on my list is the subscribers count. I don't usually check it because I don't want to be disappointed in anything. But I don't know what I was doing today, and I checked it, and you guys, I'm at 5 away from 700, and that is fantastic. I couldn't have asked you guys for more. I greatly appreciate everyone who does subscribe and all the likes and comments and shares. I truly appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, it is cute. It's definitely different, Brenda. But that's kind of like my brain, right? Some pieces fit, some pieces don't. Um, and so that's why I was glad that I was able to record this one because we all do things so differently, especially when it comes to asymmetrical quilts. But no, this one was fun. Let's see. Jim says very pretty. Thank you. Regina says love it. And everyone's saying congratulations and awesome. Isn't it weird how like numbers can make us happy? And I remember hitting 500 and going, oh my goodness, that's all I need. I'm good. I don't need any more than that. Okay. I got a sticker from Nikki. Look how cute, you guys. I love it. I think it's great. It's definitely going on my filing cabinet of gazillion stickers that I collect from everyone, which brought me to this. I know all of us are all over the US, and somehow, some way, I ended up with a Kansas sticker. Is anybody in Kansas? Can I send this to somebody? I don't think even have driven through Kansas before. So yeah, if anybody is there or is from there and no longer lives there or visits and absolutely loves it, I would happily send you the sticker. Okay. Homework from last month was my Alice in Wonderland's color chart. I got more than halfway done. It is not the best. Some pieces are big, some pieces are small. I'm not starting with the right amount of fabrics, and so some of the numbers, for example, like I know that that one's the first time I have to use it. That one's going to be the second time, and then the third time. Hi, Don. How are you today? And so mine's just going to be very hodgepodgey. I was able to throw in some solids finally, which I'm happy with. So homework is almost complete. And then I had a super long weekend, right? I was off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I did take advantage of that and went and saw my parents. Right. They're 5.5, 6 hours away. I have to see them as much as possible. So on my way down there, it was not my intention to go, but when the GPS said you're exiting at Dade City this time, which I seem to exit somewhere different because it does route me around the traffic and the tolls and all that fun stuff. It was like your exit's in 9 miles, Dade City, blah, 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 blah. My brain instantly went Quilted Twins. And I knew they were having the spend 20, get a panel deal. And so when I checked, because I know that they're not open every day for walk-ins, and they were open that Thursday 10 to 5 or 9 to 5, something like that. So I was able to totally tease Deb. And there's my selfie at Quilted Twins. um but let's see. Lisa says she had to give her 2 cents about my adventures. Yes. You can't just not go. I mean, one, they were open. And two, I think it was only like 8 miles to the left of the exit when I needed to turn right. Sebastian was game. He was like, "No, it's okay, Mom, we could go." um Sheila, was your website shut down? Someone mentioned they went there and they couldn't order. I replied, no, the website was still up and running. It was just nothing was going to be shipped until I returned on Tuesday. But yeah, no. I've had 2 or 3 inquiries. They can always email me from the website if they get stuck. But it shouldn't be that anyone couldn't order. It was just there was a flyer across the top stating nothing would ship. Jim says Sebastian's a good sport. He is. So when we walked in, they had their big thing of their panels, right? Because if you ordered online, they were just throwing a panel into your order, which Regina, I totally saw your Snoopy and he's cute. I have ideas for you, Regina, and your Snoopy on Mars. And so in the bin, right, I pulled out 2 or 3 and then I gave Sebastian the choice. Which one would you like us to choose today? And so he chose the one with the panels that the multi panels that are 10 inches. And then we're looking around. Well, right behind that display, they had 3-yard kits and they had a 3-yard bundle that totally went with it. So again, I pulled 2 of those out and asked Sebastian which one he wanted. So he was able to choose the panel and the kit. And for the price that I was able to walk out of there for, it was totally worth stopping in. Regina, I thought it was a cute panel. So you guys have to head over to K Money and check out her latest fabric haul, Happy Mail, and see which panel she got. So get to Mom's, and I will be honest, and I was able to tease my mister about this. He's like, when I'm home, I'm me. I work, right? I run a household. I have a kiddo. I do all the cooking, all the cleaning, all that stuff. Oh my gosh. So when I go to Mom's, I'm allowed to be a slug. Literally, I don't. This time around, nobody was sick. Nobody was in the hospital. Nobody was moving. This time around, I was able to go there and do absolutely nothing. The only thing I had to do every single day was take Sebastian to the pool at 5 o'clock. That was my promise to him. We'll go after I'm not going to be there sitting in the sun. It gives me a migraine. But every day at 5 o'clock, I know that it gets shady on half the pool. I'll take him. And so I was just like, well, are we gonna sew? Like, are we gonna do any crafts? What are we gonna do? So my mom mentioned that she had never done a jelly roll race. I'm not the best at them either. But it was funny because I had just finished a very, very scrappy one. And so I got to walk my mom through a jelly roll race quilt. The idea of pulling it off the jelly roll in the way that it comes was not natural to her. She wanted to change the colors around, but that's usually the beauty of the jelly roll race, is that, when you fold it and you fold it and you fold it again, then the colors get mixed and. So we ran into a couple issues while she was folding her ends back together because she did want to change the color placement originally. But we think we worked it out. She ripped out a couple seams and rearranged some chunks. And then we were able to cut out a chunk and we put in some nice little, you'll see. You'll see what we did here for her. And it's not, do you guys see that? I don't see it. Hold on. Why is it not there? So we were able to cut out a chunk, rearrange, right? Flipped it around. It is still grayed out. Let's see. Was it there, Sheila? Because it was blank on my screen. Oh, well, hold on. There it is. Now I can see it. I couldn't see it earlier. Okay, sorry about that. So you can see where we took like I don't know, I think it was like 9 inches off the one side, brought it in a third of the way. She was able to put in thank you, Jim. It was weird. You guys were writing that you could see it, but I couldn't see it. She brought in that creamy color, which I think was a 108 remnant. And then looking at it, because she wanted to not bring out more purple, I suggested to her, well, which color do you want to bring out? And she said, I want to bring out the blues. And so we went and found yardage that could work as her final border, which is the blues and the greens. It ended up being a Jason Yender print. And so I think it was very successful for her first jelly roll race quilt. Let's see. And that brings me to, before I left, I did some mindless charity sewing for me to bring back up to the event the third Wednesday of this month. Again, we're going to see this here. I can't see the image, which is really weird, but if you guys can see it, then that's great. It's where I took the box of 2.5-inch strips at the charity group and just sewed them together jelly roll race style. And on the first round, when you end up with the 4.5-inch strips, I threw in I Spy squares, and then instead of it running horizontal, it actually runs vertical. And so that one I will be returning to the group. Thank you, Jim. He's saying he loves the border and the sashing on Mama's. Regina said she liked Mama's. Thank you, you guys. And so this one, I did not get final measurements on it, but it's a good lap size for sure. And it's different. And Sebastian actually went to that open sew and he pulled the strips out of the box and he lined them all up. And so I just grabbed what he wanted me to grab. I think he threw in Harry Potter, softballs, dump trucks, candy, Halloween candy. He was pulling and I was sewing. And then we talked about Pretty in Pink, and I did show that in. Yes, it was really fun to have him pull those, Jim. because I do think children see things differently than we do. And he wasn't worried about matching colors or matching themes. He wanted, images, and he wanted things that he knew, and I guess maybe things that he liked. And so no, it was fun to have him do that. We did. Okay, back to I'm all over the place. Back to quilted twins. So I got the panel and I got the 3-yard kit. Well, that did not make a huge quilt. I needed to make more. So here's my I'm not done. When I'm there, I get to sew, and when I get to sew, I'm gonna be gung-ho. And then I think I was talking about how I was able to be a slug, but at home I can't. So here I am 2 days later and still haven't done it. These are my outside sashings. It's gonna be a thin blue and then a thin red and then a large print. So what I was able to do, that is the top without the borders. So you can see down the diagonal center, that's that panel that Sebastian picked. And then originally I was going to follow along with the sew along, but I'm not. My log cabins were using the AccuQuilt, so all mine are 2.5 inch from the very beginning. So it's not even the same as the quilt sew along currently. And then I was never intending on doing stars, and so I did the stripes. And so I just took inspiration from everywhere that I could find it and mixed and matched and built my own. I do like how it has like the cream, the red, the cream, and then the blue, like it's separated like that. I ran out of the original first reds and blues and then brought in a secondary red and blue, which I think blended nicely. And then the creams, I have 2 separate creams at all times alternating. And so if you're going to see the cream with the little mushrooms, you're also going to see the cream with the floral. It's never really separated. Um, Thank you. Thank you, Sheila and Dawn. Yeah, the panel was a great starting point, especially with the sizes. By the time I got them trimmed evenly, they were 10. And then to make a 10-inch log cabin was fairly easy. I did trim some of them down. Yeah, Regina, it's fun when you bring a kiddo into a quilt shop because they're like, hey, he was walking around with another customer. She goes, well, I'm going to need your help. And he disappeared down the aisle and I can hear him. And she was like, well, I have the purple or the pink. And he's like, I really like the pink. So, I mean, it's just sometimes they see things we don't, I guess. But this one, I need it to reach 60 by 80. It's just shy. So 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 10 at 6 across minus the seam allowances. I'm right 58-ish. By like 76-ish or something like that. So it'll get the blue, it'll get the red, and then Mama gave me a blue floral print just to kind of, it has 2 tones blues, which there's 2 different blues in the quilt. So I am one of these days, I don't know what day I'm going to get to that, but it will get done. And then I am still sending it to Pat, even though the kit didn't come from her or anything. And I've actually donated to Pat previously. Me and Mama gathered all of our red, whites, and blues one year and just sent her yardage for her group. It's I don't I was going to leave it with my mother because she has a local Quilt of Valor, but I was told that they wouldn't take it, which was odd. But when I inquired why, one said because of the panel, and another one said because it wasn't up to par for, I guess, their requirements. I don't know much. I know that my dad has received a quilt of valor, right? My mom put him in, and he was gifted one in a ceremony. I've been to a ceremony where they've, you know, given them, and they tell the story, and one of those wasn't even red, white, and blue, it was just red and white. I've seen them in multiple different places. So I don't know. I don't know if each chapter has its own rules, regulations, guidelines. I did touch base with Pat, that if she was okay with this one, and she said yes, she's fine with it. And so it will be going to Pat. But it's kind of my mom really wanted to make one, and my mom wanted to participate in her local Quilt of Valor, especially after my dad had received one in Tennessee. But she was very put off when they her local chapter, I guess, wants precision. And like one lady that I did meet in particular was a bag sewer, and I think a children's garment maker. Well, she wanted to get into quilting, and she chose Quilt of Valor as her, I want to quilt, but I want to quilt to give. And they made her rip out stitches. They made her take out blocks. They made her redo rows. So to me, that would just tell me not to come back. That would, and I don't know. I don't know. That's a whole nother. So Lisa says, Pat and her group in the reception. Thank you. I don't see any reason not to take it other than, yes, the panel was, I don't want to say the panel is not military, but the panel is still patriotic, right? It still had flags. So to me, we still celebrate Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July, right? All these different holidays. So thank you. Jim, yes, I do think some locations, some may not though, right? Like it's totally weird. I don't understand. Yeah, Dawn, it was I wanted to tell the woman that night that please don't let that deter you from charity sewing, right? And if they won't accept your work, for example, a foster care system will, right? Children still need to be hugged and loved. So I don't know. The fabric patch had an awful interaction as well. Yeah, see, and I don't like to, I just, oh, it just, yeah, it was weird. But okay. Question, because maybe somebody knows why. My mom swears that I called her one day and told her I wanted all my shirting fabric back. I don't remember calling her and asking her that. I cannot find it in my text messages. I cannot find it in any saved screenshot patterns in my phone or iPad. So she sent me home. She goes, here's all your shirting. I don't want my shirting. Why do I want shirting, Mom? She swears I want my shirting back. So here's only 2 of them. They're a big old bucket back there. Does anyone recall why she says I asked her for my shirting back? Anybody? Like, was there a pattern that we saw? Was there an image floating around somewhere? Yes, Jim, there are. It doesn't have to be specifically registered with QOV. I fully believe that, yes, there are more organizations that will still take a patriotic quilt. Yes, Brenda, you give them to the police for children. In their trunks. Exactly. So my mom was you're in Kentucky. So my mom was in Tennessee, and she said the same thing, that they would carry a quilt in the back of their police cars, their ambulances, their fire trucks. You know how they have like that very first responder truck, all of them, because you're going to come upon a situation, sadly, that has a child, and there you go. You can wrap that child into a blanket, into a quilt, into something that now can just, be theirs. So I do love, and the charity group here, I was talking to them about us expanding if the foster care receiving center just gets too many, right? Because I think we're up to over 100 already, and then we're only into July. If they get to where they just can't store them anymore, what were the other options for children? And we did talk about the sheriffs and the fire trucks. The assumption is every vet wants a red, white, and blue quilt with stars and stripes. This is not true. They may want a quilt that represents their current aesthetic while still honoring. Nicely said, Lisa. Yes. So my grandpa served, my father that raised me served, and then my stepdad, who's my dad after 25, 30 years now, he served. My ex-husband was active duty our whole marriage, and my current partner is retired from the Army. They all have different personalities, and they all honor their service in different ways. And for example, my grandfather did not wear red, white, and blue. He did not have it in his house. He did not, but you saw it, that sticker on his truck. Right? You saw his retired license plate, and you saw the artwork. He had his office, and he liked the artwork of the Chinooks and the helicopters and things like that. But that would be the only way you would know that he was a service member. My ex-husband, you wouldn't know. He has one quilt that was gifted to him on his way out, like out processing, and I'll be honest, and I hate this, but it is in the dog crate. He gives it to the dog. And that's what he, yes, it's there. Yes, he knows not to throw it away, but he's like, he doesn't tell people he was in the service. So yeah, it's everyone just totally. Quilt of Valor may not be for everyone. There are plenty of other yes, Sheila. Yep, and Jim's agreeing. So yeah, everyone's so different. It really is. Sheila said rag quilt. Is that why I got this? Like, we're talking a whole TJ Maxx reusable bag. Like, I had given it to her years ago when I was trying to clean my room, and now she's giving it all back to me. One thing I did think of was, you guys remember a couple months back, Sherry Yurton, my quilting world. Remember she did that tans, the monotone, the beiges, and she did the chunky squares, big square, a little square, big square, a little square. And then she did the flower pieces on top of it. I'm wondering if maybe I had the idea of, no, I don't make curtains. No curtains for me. I don't know. And then, is shirting cotton? Like, how do we find this out, you guys? Another thought that was a possibility was, hi, Lori, how are you? It's okay if you're late. You didn't miss anything, just me fumbling and mumbling. I'm wondering, so Jim says yes. No, Jim's laughing. Sheila says yes. Burn test, melt test. I use it in my quilts. I'm wondering, Regina, is that what I saw? Like, did I see somewhere to make a quilt with shirting? Because then it got me thinking. Uh, I have the Dress a Girl kits that I originally picked up at the Dress a Girl meeting for me to make as an individual. And I'm wondering if I can make the dresses out of shirting. Right? I don't know. I don't know why I asked you guys. I have no idea why I asked her. She just swears that I did. Okay. Number 9 on my list. A lot of people make quilts with shirty. Yeah, I maybe it's for one of these. That could be it too. It's like maybe just start using them as the borders, using them as the sashing, using them as the backings. But in regards to Pretty in Pink and Jolly Green Giant, the next one, because if I'm going to sew, this seems to be the way that it's making my brain happy, is this kind of mindfulness, asymmetrical, nothing has to be exact and matchy type of sewing right now. And so I do have a third one in mind. An overall Sam and a sunbonnet. Sue, that would be super cute. Would you like me to put some heat and bond on the back of multiple and send you some pieces, Sheila? I'll do it. I'll just strip heat and bond on like a piece of everything. Lori is saying Bonnie Hunter uses it. Okay, and she's saying use it. So the consensus is that yes, the shirting can be used in quilting. And so maybe that is why I asked her for it. But in regards to this guy here, and if you did watch the video, you'll notice that it is slightly different than Jolly Green Giant, because instead of putting the big panel on the side, I moved the little guy over, put the big panel in the middle, which I really like that layout much better. So the next one I'm doing, I'm just calling like Fun and Funky, Bold and Bright. And like seriously, fun and bright, and I'm throwing in like my little baby gypsy wife blocks. What I wanted to do to bring all these colors in together though is to throw in a black and grays with these bright colors. I mean, I got some K faucets in there. I got leftover, what are these? Piano keys to throw in. And so this one, I've pulled pretty much all the bolds and brights out of my orphan. This is a cheater print. But Mama, let's see. I got something like that left over. I even just have, look, I got this in a block swap a couple years ago. It's just icicle bops. So this next one is going to be fun and funky, bolds and brights. And you'll notice, right? It's an orphan block from the last couple years of quilts. This quilt I actually sent to Leanna for one of her charity drives. It had cream sew and flip corners on that one. Turned it into like a chevron. So for this one though, you guys, the group, right? Because they have all those bins that we can dig through, had white yardage. Yes, a lot of interesting fabrics. It's my personalities. Multiple. You heard that, right? All in one. But this one had yardage of this fantastic stripe. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use this as the sashings or the borders or both, but I absolutely love this one. And it really helped with the idea of pulling white, gray, and black to go with the colors to help kind of get some uniformity in there. But they had Tula. Can y'all see that? They had Tula in purple and in gold. And they had whatever this stuff is called. And they had these greens. I mean, they had some really awesome prints. Like, look at this. I just, the way I saw it that day was all of these that were there were just meant to be for this quilt. Binding would be great with that one, with the stripes, the diagonal stripes. And so I did. I totally walked out with all of these pieces, knowing exactly which quilt I was going to do with them. And then I don't know, but this reminds me of my childhood. Does that look familiar to anybody? I don't know if it was like a children's book or a cartoon. It has no selvage on it, but it just screams the 70s to me. So that will be the next one. And in the description or somewhere I wrote it. Oh, so Mama gave me another TJ Maxx bag full of orphan blocks. So she even had a couple. Where's Waldo? Fun print. Yeah, I thought it reminded me of my childhood. So she even had this one's big. It's like almost like a body pillow long. But she gave me a whole TJ Maxx bag full of orphan blocks, you guys. So it got me Schoolhouse Rocks. Is that what it is? Definitely reminiscent of that. It really is. But oh, like look. Now I gotta go research that because yeah, it's too cute. Um, so my next thought, and usually at the end of one of these lovely live streams, I do a giveaway, which I can still totally do if you guys would like. But I'm gonna put a call out, shout out, an inquiry. I don't know what to call it. A call out, right? I don't know. A call for, maybe a call for. I am severely lacking in anything blue. Blue fabrics, blue scraps, blue orphan blocks. That is just, I guess, something I just don't sew with. And so I would like to keep up with the color schemes of these guys. And so I am putting a call out for blue orphan blocks or blue scraps or blue fugly fabric that you're just never going to sew and you have no idea why you bought it. If anyone would be interested in helping me help them with a blue charity quilt for a teenage boy. The ones that I am doing for this group are larger. I am trying to make them pretty much like 60 by 80s. So that not everything is for toddlers or little. We are really trying to make sure that those preteens and teenagers also get a quilt. Yeah, Sheila, anything. It could be a 3-inch orphan block. It can be, right? I mean, here's an example. It could be a 3-inch. It could even just be, scrappy, whatever. Whatever. Just anything that to your eye reads blue. If you guys would like. And I'm gonna start digging around and start checking. And when I deliver the jelly roll scrappy thingy, and when I deliver the pretty in pink, I'm going to dig through the bins and also, let them know that, hey, I would like to have some blues. There is no deadline, Jim, because this is an ongoing charity for me anyways. My goal is one a month. And so I'm already got bold and bright would be July, August. So if blues start coming in, right? August, September, if blues don't get here until the end of the year, then it could be January's. There's no deadline, there's no size requirements. There's obviously, this is just a if you can, if you want to type of help me out situation. But I was looking and I wanted to at least make sure to get like a blue in there. And the green one turned out a little bit more feminine than originally I had seen in my head. But to grow it to size, I used that floral pot panel, which still turned out really nice. I liked it. But so yeah, if yeah. As I'm sitting here fumbling with an orphan block that Mama gave me, which it's so cute. So this one to me would, I would say it would actually go into maybe a yellow quilt or a red quilt. Those are what I'm seeing in it. Regina is asking, but for tween age. On size, right? So I'm trying to make sure that my charity quilts for this specific foster group and processing center is the size of like me, right? 5 feet and higher. So that those older kids coming in get one. When it comes to like the prints, I'm not being picky. That nope. Because like for this fun and funky one, that children's print's going in it, but the stripes are going in it. But then the check's going in it. Oh yeah, no. Um, Size tween, yes. Prints, no, because like if you look here, right, there's a very pastel-y butterfly. But if you look over here, there's like retro ladies, and then fried eggs, and then flamingos, right? I mean, there's florals and plaids. Yeah, no, I don't. That one's. Sheila said that's a cool block. This one. So this was like mom's. She said it was her half square triangle cutoffs, sew and flip cutoffs. Um, I'm trying to recall the quilt, and I think she was just having fun putting the pieces together to practice because she said she was working on like her pressing skills. And I actually thought it would be a great throw pillow, but she said she didn't want it. And so I was thinking down the road, I would do a yellow or a red. I'm just not sure. That's what I see when I look at this. Yeah, it is. Yes, cutoffs. Exactly. That's what I thought. Same my cutoffs also. Yep. So, well, you guys know I save all my half square triangle sew and flips, and I have buckets and buckets, and I do wonky stars. That's how we end up with these little guys. Those are my 1 inch, sew and flip. Yeah, you guys know me. So, do you guys want a giveaway? That would be open until Saturday, like I normally do. What time is it? I don't have a clock anywhere on my computer today. Is it because I was messing with the pictures? Did I go through all the pictures? Jelly roll, red, white, and blue, pretty and pink, the quilted twins. Yep, went through all the pictures. Okay. So I'm also on the comments on StreamYard. And so I have, where do I find? Okay, so there's currently 16 of you. So not in the live comments because those will disappear. In the comments after the video ends and it cycles through and it becomes a video that you can replay, go ahead and leave a comment using a pink heart of some sort in a sentence, or just leave the heart, or it don't matter. Pink heart. And I will go ahead and gather up a bundle of pink scraps if you guys would like. I mean, they're not going to be teeny tiny. They'll be, 2.5 strips or larger, and it will just come in a little envelope. The last one that received the purple jelly roll strips, she was so ecstatic. I'm very happy. She wrote me a thank you. It was very sweet. And so that time it was the purple heart. So this time let's do a pink heart in honor of Pretty in Pink Scrappy Quilt. And on Sunday morning, I will pull a winner with a little spinny wheel thing and leave a post up. But I thank you guys for joining me. And oh, earrings. You guys are gonna let me walk out of here without talking about my earrings. You guys know this one. Hold on, can you see them? So these are leather. These are hand colored. Oh, you can't see them. These, I went to Missouri Star with my mom one year on our way to Angela Walters' Quilting is My Therapy. And each one of their stores at Missouri Star is a different theme, a different craft even. This one had a leather working station. Where's my camera? Let's see. There they are. It had a leather working station. And so they were pre-cut leather pieces. And then they had leather markers or leather paint. And so we were able to dye them and color them. And so I have, I don't know, not handmade, but hand and colored leather earrings from Missouri Star. Sheila said she did notice my earrings. Thank you both, Lori and so you know me, can't get through the episode without talking about my earrings of the day. You're very welcome, Sheila. Thank you for joining me and listening to me fumble and mumble my way through. That's just life, And I never thought that I would be one to do lives instead of my videos, but it took me a month to get this sucker pieced and recorded and made. And I'm like, it's so hard for me to get out like a weekly video right now that doing it this way, I still get to show and talk about what I am doing. And I do appreciate all of you here and my online quilting family. So thank you again for coming. I will see you guys. I have it on my calendar. It's the first Wednesday of next month. I'll get the little thumbnail and all that up probably in about 2 weeks. I don't pre-schedule them very far out because my calendar changes often. Oh, no, next month is August. No. Let me backtrack. Next month is August, and I have Layer Cake Palooza, hashtag Layer Cake Palooza, premiering Monday at 1:00. So that is my contribution video to the Layer Cake Palooza collaboration that Lisa is hosting. So instead of a live, hi Sandy, instead of a live that first week, it's going to be a video premiere that Monday at 1:00. It should be showing now as an upcoming video. So I would love it if you guys can join me in the chats during that premiere because I was so ecstatic for that project. And I was like the total overachiever and it's been done for months. But again, if you want to win a nice hefty size scrap bag of pinks, nothing smaller than a 2.5 inch, go ahead and leave me a pink heart in the comments after the video cycles through. Take care, you guys. Have a fantastic day.